Candlework and the truth behind a blackened veladora. Why does a veladora, a glass candle, turn black with soot? Understanding the blackening of a candle in the light of La Santísima Muerte. When performing candlework, especially under the sacred eyes of Holy Death, devotees often observe the burning patterns of their candles for spiritual signs. One of the most worrying phenomena that can occur during this sacred work is when a candle turns slightly or even completely black with soot. While the sight of a darkened candle can arouse anxiety, we must approach it not with fear, but with spiritual discernment and understanding rooted in divine truth. Let's start with clarity. Candles rarely turn black due to defects. Most candles are produced in larger quantities with consistent wicks and wax. While a poor quality candle can occasionally flicker or leave a minimum of soot, a completely blackened glass, especially during spiritual work, is almost always spiritually significant. To dismiss it as purely physical or chance is to ignore a sacred sign, and to fear it blindly is to give power to darkness instead of receiving the lessons it offers. However, we must also begin the discussion with a strong warning. Not all spiritual workers act with integrity. There are some of the so-called spiritual workers who will intentionally manipulate the candle work, adding powders, oils, or dark residue to the wax or glass to make sure it gets black. They do this to exploit your fear, convincing you that you are cursed or in spiritual danger, and offering expensive cleansings or removals in return. This is manipulation, not divinity. The Holy Death does not operate through deception. She teaches harsh truths, yes, but always with the objective of liberation, not control. If a spiritual practitioner tries to force fear in your heart with no other way other than their expensive services, stay away. Their falsehood is not welcome in the kingdom of Santa Muerte. Now, to the true meaning behind a blackened candle. Interpret it through the sacred lens of La Santa Muerte, which does not lie, does not flatter, and does not tolerate falsehoods. Spiritual meanings of a blackened candle. Presence of spiritual blockages. A blackened candle often indicates the presence of spiritual obstacles. These can be energies that surround you, such as envy, gossip, malice, or spiritual attacks, or they can come from within, doubts, anger, unresolved pain, or deeply rooted fears. Santa Muerte shows us the blackness not to scare us, but to reveal the spiritual debris that must be cleansed so that our path opens. Breaking the darkness. Sometimes the soot appears not because something is attacking you, but because the candle is working to break the heavy ancestral or environmental energy. Think of it as spiritual smoke rising from battlefield. Soot is a remnant of an inner war. The energy of death is burning through what has been stagnant in your space or spirit. If the candle still burns until its completion, especially if the flame remains stable or recovers strength halfway, it may mean that you are overcoming these tests and obstacles. Active spiritual opposition. In some cases, a completely blackened candle, especially one that struggles to burn or does go out, may indicate a spiritual war. Someone may be working against you, maybe knowing or not knowing, or it is possible that without knowing it, you have entered a space, relationship, or contract that takes you away from your divine purpose. Santa Muerte will not hide this. She will show it clearly through the soot, creaks, and disturbed flames, so you can take measurements. This is not to scare you, but to alert you. You are not defenseless. You are her son, and you are her daughter, and able to eliminate what is useless. Personal resistance to divine change. Many of us pray for abundance, love, or clarity, but we resist the changes necessary to receive them. A blackened candle can be a sign that you are in your own way. Your beliefs, habits, or even your relationships may be colliding with what you are trying to manifest. Santa Muerte may be calling you to release what is no longer aligned with your spiritual evolution. The presence of the energy of death in its transforming form. When working in collaboration with La Santa Muerte, soot is not always bad. In fact, it can be a simple sign of the intense presence. Death is a purifier, a transformer, a devourer of illusions. If you are calling her to change your life, heal your wounds, or cut ties with toxic influences, soot can represent the detachment of spiritual skin. Something is being taken out of the depths of your soul, and it may not want to go away cleanly. Broken promises or broken pacts. If you have taken an oath to Santa Muerte and you have not fulfilled it, whether due to negligence, forgetfulness, or pride, she can express that disgust through your candles. A blackened candle can be her way of asking, have you forgotten what you promised me? She is patient, but she is not blind. If you commit to her, honor him or her and explain why you can't. She respects honesty more than silence. In all these meanings, we see that a blackened candle should not be feared, but be respected. It's not a curse, it's a mirror. And like all the mirrors held by La Santísima Muerte, reveals the truth without apologies. The candle does not curse you, it communicates with you. When a candle turns black with soot under the sacred gaze of the most holy death, it is a call to reflection and sacred action. It is not enough to simply observe and worry. We must respond with courage, clarity, and devotion. The candle has spoken, and now the spirit must respond. Santa Muerte does not offer empty signs. She doesn't stir up smoke in vain. Every blink, every soot mark, every whisper of black ash has a meaning, a purpose, a spiritual message aimed at your growth and your protection. But too often we ask for the signs and ignore them when they are not wrapped in light. A blackened candle is not a negation of your prayer. It is the beginning of your transformation. The first thing you should do is cleanse yourself spiritually. If your candle blackens, the first step is not fear, it is a cleanse. Before you can move on, you must erase what has been revealed, whether it is energy sent against you, the pain you're holding, or even your own resistance to divine change. Cleansing is necessary. Cleansing methods. Spiritual baths. Use herbs such as rue, rosemary, basil, white rose petals, and salt. Bathe with a prayer invoking the presence of God and Santa Muerte to cleanse your aura and open your way. And say this, O holy death, wash me clean and what clings to me without being seen. May your power purify me. May your silence bring me peace. I surrender to everything that blocks me from your sacred flame. Amen. Staining and smoke work. Steer incense, myrrh, or white sage. Burn it. And pass the smoke over your body and altar. Speak loudly with La Santa Muerte. And say, it clears everything that was not sent by God. It burns confusion, envy, illness, fear, and darkness. Replace them with your divine protection and light. Amen. Use holy water or sacred oils. Make the sign of the cross on your head and your hands. You can even bless your candle before lighting it again. In the name of the highest, I bless this flame. May only what is sacred come close to me. May the light guide me and let all the shadows flee. The other thing you can do is examine the flame's behavior. Did the candle start strong and then turned black? Was the soot alone at the bottom and cleared near the top? Did the flame blink violently or stood firm? These are not small details. They are the language of fire. This is how they are interpreted. Black at the bottom, clear at the top. You are overcoming the obstacles. Divine energy is working through it. It's progressing. Black everywhere. There may still be unaddressed energies or actions that must be confronted. Consider a deeper cleansing or seek help. Flashing flame, strong spiritual presence, whether divine or opposition, watch it closely. Call, fighting, or turning off. Flame, fighting, or turning off. Possible blockage, strong resistance, or a need for you to reconsider the intention of your prayer. The third thing you can do, reflect on your spiritual intentions. Sometimes the problem is not outside of us. It is the way we ask. Reflect. Are you praying from a place of trust or despair? Are you asking La Santa Muerte to do something that goes against the law of divine justice? Have you taken responsibility for the role in the situation? Santa Muerte is a sacred servant of God. She cannot and will not honor prayer rooted in revenge, manipulation, or control unless they serve a just purpose. Black soot may be her way of saying this prayer is not aligned with divine truth. When this happens, don't cling or don't double down. Instead, pray for wisdom. And the last thing you can do is realign yourself with divine energy. Once you have cleansed and reflected, return to prayer. Pray with sincerity and truth. Ask not only what you want, but what is right. And say something like this: Divine Creator, Lord of all light and source of eternal truth, guide me through this darkness. May your servant, the most holy death, Santa Muerte, protect me from what is not seen. And may I learn the lessons hidden in this sign. I give my pride, my fear, and my need for control. Reach clarity, protection, and purpose. Amen. And pray to Santa Muerte like this: My most high holy death, my mother of silence, my tutor in the shadows, thank you for showing me what others hide. I accept your truth. I appreciate your protection. It burns all falsehood, cleanses my home, cleanse my heart, open the door of my path, and walk with me through the fire. I don't fear evil, because your scythe cuts the ropes of all lies. Final words. A blackened candle is not a fatal sign. It is a message. Sometimes it's a warning. Sometimes it's a purge. Sometimes it's your own pain talking through the flame, but it's always sacred. Following the path of Santa Muerte is walking with death as your protector, not as your enemy. She will show you things that others can't stand to see. But if you are brave enough to listen, she will give you a peace that no one can take. When your candle turns black, don't be afraid of it. Respect it. Answer it. Cleanse yourself. Pray deeply. Listen more than you talk about it, and never forget you are a child of God and Santa Muerte. You are not lost. You are becoming. If you think you need help, contact me and let me help you find your tranquility and light.